Welcome back to the Global UFO channel. Today we have a very interesting topic that will appeal to everyone interested in ancient mysteries connected with ufology. Today we are discussing an ancient nuclear war. Is there any truth to the claims made by some researchers? I must admit that this case has intrigued me due to some fascinating physical evidence as well as written evidence from ancient civilizations. If you're new to the channel and are interested in these or similar topics, please support the channel by subscribing for more such content, as every bit of support is appreciated. On February 16, 1947, the New York Herald Tribune published an interesting article about unusual archaeological anomalies that had occurred, which they explained as being linked to the first atomic bomb explosion in New Mexico. The desert sand at the explosion site has turned into a melted mass of green glass. When excavation began in the ancient Babylonian valley of the Euphrates in modern-day Iraq, archaeologists discovered a layer of an agricultural culture that dated back 8,000 years, and a layer from an even older Stone Age culture. Interestingly, beneath this oldest human layer was a vast area covered by a layer of melted green glass. Scientists speculated that the glass might have been caused by powerful lightning strikes during a thunderstorm. However, the problem with this theory was that the area covered by molten glass was circular. In other words, try to imagine lightning striking in a perfectly circular area. We all know that nature doesn't behave in such a way. Another plausible explanation offered was the impact of the large meteor, which upon impact could generate immense amount of energy, transforming the desert sand into glass. For those who don't know, sand turns into glass at a temperature of around 1700 degrees Celsius. The problem is that meteors leave craters, and in this location there was no crater. Researchers were left with only one incredible solution: that this area has been exposed to nuclear and thermonuclear detonations of atomic explosions, releasing tremendous heat that fused the silicon desert sand and dirt, creating green glass. And that's precisely what happened in the New Mexico desert when people first tested atomic bombs, which were later used on Japanese cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the World War II. If you thought the discovery was just an anomaly, think again, because new evidence has appeared in Egypt, the Middle East, and India. In the southwestern Egyptian desert, near the borders of Libya, Chad, and Sudan, there is an enormous area of this same green glass known as Libyan desert glass. In 1996, at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, Italian mineralogist Gist Vincent de Michel noticed an unusual yellow-green gem on one of the Tutankhamun's necklaces. The gem was tested and turned out to be nothing but green glass older than the oldest Egyptian civilization. Archaeologists found the source of this glass in a remote area of the Sahara Desert, measuring 130 by 150 kilometers. Semi-transparent, yellowish-green pieces of glass were located on a rock octopus with no sand, but no one knows how this material got there or how it was formed. Ancient texts may provide some answers to this question. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, ancient Hindu epics believed by some to be over 20,000 years old, describe massive celestial weapons. During the war between the Rama Empire and the ancient Atlantis, they talk about the projectile with the power of the entire universe. Here's a brief excerpt that describes the weapon and its devastating effects. As bright as 1,000 suns, it rose in all its splendor. A vertical explosion created smokeless circles resembling giant suns. It was an unknown weapon, an iron thunderbolt, a gigantic messenger of death, which reduced to ashes the entire race. The corpses were so burned as to be unrecognizable. Their hair and nails fell out. Pottery broke without any apparent cause. Foodstuffs were infected and the birds turned white. After a few hours, all food was infected. To escape from this fire, the soldiers threw themselves in streams to wash themselves and their equipment. This ancient text seems to describe a catastrophic event involving an incredibly destructive weapon from the sky. Do you know where you can find almost identical descriptions of such weaponry? Even though descriptions alone may not be enough, you can even watch videos of such destruction, because an identical event occurred in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Could the ancient authors of these texts have had such advanced imagination to invent a new type of weaponry just to make their epics more thrilling? I don't know. I really don't know. What do you think? Perhaps these Hindu epics are not as mythological as some believe. Regarding the ancient remains of the Indian city of Mohenjo-Daro, archaeologists have found compelling evidence of an intense heat. They discovered human skeletons lying on a stone streets holding hands, seemingly caught by surprise while going about their daily activities. Something happened to them, fusing their bodies with stone. If this isn't intriguing enough, consider that these skeletons were found about 50 times higher radiation levels than normal. Is this evidence of an ancient nuclear war? Julius Robert Oppenheimer, the creator of the modern atomic bomb, was known for studying ancient Hindu and Sanskrit texts. Interestingly, when he was asked after the successful test of the atomic bomb if it was indeed the first nuclear explosion, his response was quite revealing. Yes, but in modern times. And after witnessing the destruction caused by his creation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he recalled the recorded words from the Bhagavad Gita, which were part of Mahabharata. He said, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of the worlds." Later in life, he expressed deep regret for his work and advocated for the ban of nuclear weapons. He realized this a bit too late. Is there any truth to this story, or are these just unfounded theories without evidence? And is our civilization simply caught in a cycle of birth and destruction? This might be the question of all questions. You are on a global UFO channel. See you next Sunday.